Here are just some quick designs I drew up for my tool tote. Something I had in mind. I kind of wanted like a semicircle at the top of the box and maybe about 20 inches long by a foot wide. I'm planning on putting in my my little corded grinder and my corded sander as well. And probably put some kind of separators in here, maybe a little, you know, separator to block between the grinder and the sander. Keep the sandpaper neat and the little grinder accessories. So here, check out the wood that I got ready for it. So this is what it was. It was a deck board. It was 2x6 deck board, about 6 foot long. And I was told that this deck was probably put in around the 70s or 80s. And that time here in North Idaho, they were using a lot of California redwood. And I just took the wood. I wasn't sure if it was or not. It could be cedar. Looks like redwood. But anyways, it looks pretty nice. It's got a really nice red color, and I can't wait to see it done. You can see here I resawed these pieces of wood. These were both a 2x6, but I don't want the sides and the bottom, I don't want it to be too heavy. So that's why I cut these in half, and it'll be half the weight compared to using one of these. And one thing I forgot to point out is I'm going to try and use an old axe haft for the handle. I got to figure it out, but this is a broken piece of the handle right there. And let's check it out. You can see probably usable, about 21 inches long, usable. So this is the wood before the planing. Some beat up spots where I kind of pulled the wood off of the joist of the old deck. So I'm going to use this axe handle for the handle on my tool tote. And basically I got a piece of cardboard, fit it tight there, and traced the outline right there. I'm going to cut this out, and the handle will sit out the end of the box just like that. Let's check out how this fits. Too bad, just clean that up a little bit. So I'm going to cut a chamfered top on this. You can see this right here, and basically I measure down 1 inch, measure down 2 inches, and that's about where I'm going to put my cuts. And I just use the preset settings here on the saw. There's 22.5 degrees, and then you can move this over to 45 and it locks in place, and I'll leave it like that to cut the tops, to cut that steeper angle, the 45. So I just want to show you a quick and simple trick. You can see I marked here on the fence 1 inch, 2 inch, and that's all I'm going to do. So 1 inch, I'll cut that at 22.5, and 2 inches we'll cut right hit there, about there, and that's going to be I think I'm going to do a 50-inch cut on that instead of 45. And I can also drew the line right here, so right there's 2 inches, and that's where I'm going to cut it on my angle. Check it out. So let's finish those up. So this piece of the handle was broken. I just kind of cut it flat so that just is a little bit easier for me to fit into this hole once I cut it there. And you'll see how this works out. As you can see here, I'm going to use my speed square to get this at a 90-degree angle. So you can see it's pretty much together. What I'm going to do now is nail this piece of plywood in here to the bottom. You see I marked it, you know, about 3 inches apart, just so it looks pretty even. Even though they're small nails, you'll see a little bit of a head. And I'll nail it along here as well. So one thing that's important when you're trying to shoot in to the bottom here, I mean, this piece of plywood is only 5/8 inch wide, so you want to make sure you have it straight. If you put it on an angle this way, down or up, you're going to shoot it and you're going to shine the nail, is what they call it, where the nail will poke out of the wood. They call it shining. So you just want to keep it as straight as you can, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't hit a knot and turn in the wood. So here I'll show you, I'll shoot this side on there. And you can see there's no shiners through here. No shiners on the bottom either. So to hold the handle in place, I was going to use this little nail, just an old nail I took out of a board. But then I remember when I was metal detecting, I found these old, you know, square blacksmith nails that were made by hand. So I'm going to drill this hole a little bigger and put that in there, and that keeps the handle in place. So there's my little blacksmith nail that I found while metal detecting. I just drilled that hole out a little bit wider, slides right in, and there it goes. The handle's pretty stable, and I think there's enough meat on that handle that it'll be fine for many years. So here's my finished tool tote for the Scoutcrafter Tool Tote Challenge. You can see I used the old axe handle, and it turned out pretty nicely, coming out both ends. I have a old blacksmithing nail that I used to just put in there so I could remove the handle and get at anything inside if I needed to. Let's put it back out of there. And that just slides in there and holds it like a pin. So you can see I have my grinder here, my grinder accessories that I use. I like to keep these in the plastic container so I don't poke myself with all these little pieces sticking out. This one's pretty much done, and my sander fits nicely right in the middle, and then I got my sandpaper right here in this little compartment. I might put some more dividers in here at some point, but we'll see. I actually have these pieces loose for now, so I can put maybe another layer of oil in there. I just want to let it cure. I just oiled it today, and you don't want to put too much on it once without letting it cure. So yeah, that's it. Nice toolbox. So this was a fun project to put together. It was a lot of work. It took a lot of time, but I was happy to use these old materials that I could find and reuse. You know, this old redwood deck, the axe handle. It just came out really nice, and I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks, Scoutcrafter, for the challenge.